The pipes and drums have been associated with the fire service and the police department for hundreds of years. Once upon a time, only Irish were allowed, or crazy enough, as they say, to want to be cops or firefighters. The general consensus was that firefighters and police officers had a very short-lived experience because no safety gear existed back then, and so a lot of police officers and firefighters died in the line of duty. And the pipes had followed the Irish, mostly Irish, firefighters and police officers from Ireland because a lot of people played the bagpipes. So at funerals, the bagpipes always came out, and it was okay for you to cry because the pipes made you cry. So the bagpipes were always there. As time went on, as other ethnicities were allowed or encouraged to become firefighters as well, the pipes and drums still stayed as a tradition of the fire service. And that meant that no matter who passed away in the line of duty, pipes and drums are always involved with a firefighter's funeral or a police officer's funeral. Pipe band, ready? 4-4 set. At the halt, quick, march. So you may be wondering about the bagpipes. The bagpipes are a 4-reeded instrument. If you know anybody who plays the clarinet or the saxophone, that only has 1 reed in it. So, and a lot of times people have a lot of difficulty playing the clarinet or the saxophone. Well, it's even harder to play bagpipes because you have to blow into the bag to blow it up and then push at the same time to push out the air. During the playing, the actual tune itself is played down here on the chanter. You'll see them moving their fingers. The upper parts, the drones that make that drony sound, they have to be tuned just the right way so that way the bagpipes sound right. Utah Firefighters Emerald Society, pipes and drums. America's beautiful Marine hymn. At the halt, quick march. The drums are very tightly strung, and they have very tight snares on them. So they sound different than tom-toms or other kinds of drums, because you want a crisp sound from the snare drums. The bass drum is pulled pretty tight too, but it's very similar to other bands' bass drums, except it's not quite as boomy. The tenor drums are the drums that the drummers play and also move their hands in what's called flourishing. Flourishing allows you to spin your sticks in between striking the drum, and if all the tenor drummers play together like they should, it looks really nice where they're all spinning the same way at the same time. So let's talk about the kilt. This isn't a dress and it's not a skirt. It's a kilt, and it comes from the Celtic people, not Celtic people, but Celtic people that live around the Irish Sea. So the Scots and the Irish have always been brethren because they are separated by just a small body of water. The Irish wear the kilt, the Scots also wear the kilt. It's a takeoff on the wrapping of material that originally the Druid people wore. So the kilt, our kilt, for example, is actually registered as a tartan, and that's a plaid in Scotland, and this is called smoke showing. It's got gray for the smoke in the fire department and black, but it also has green to signify Ireland, and the orange also signifies Ireland. The kilt of the Irish people, all Irish people, whether Northern Irish or Southern Irish Republic people, is this saffron color, this orange color. And so it's a very unifying feature of our kilt. North or south, we all are brothers. You'll also notice there's no pockets in these kilts. We wear what's called a sporran. A sporran is a pocket for us in the front, and it allows us to keep our car keys or whatever else we need to keep in it. Some sporrans are very elaborate. They have hair on them, or they have dangly parts. Okay, but sporrans can get to be very interesting looking, and of course, we need to have some place to keep our things. So that's why they wear sporrans. Now let's talk a little bit about the Utah Firefighters Emerald Society. And Emerald Society is a group of firefighters, police officers, and also paramedics and others who support the mission of the Public Safety Service, and that is to help our fellow human beings. And that's what we're about. An Emerald Society really used to be just for Irish folks, but once again, with the traditions of the fire and police, now anyone can be in an Emerald Society.